Alrighty, we're going to be working on mobilizing the gut today. So let's just warm up the body to start off with. Soften the knees. I'm going to get you to take some deep breaths in and then out. Push the floor away with your heels so you can activate your glutes and your hamstrings as you come up. So weight not on the toes, in the heels. Make sure those knees stay tracking over your ankles, over toes, and don't come forward. Try to keep your bum behind you. Big breath in, big breath out. Big breath in, big breath out. Make it a bit wider. Up and over, lateral stretch. So this just opens up the rib cage, opens up the intercostal muscles, like so. Keep your legs nice and straight. Beautiful. Drop your shoulders, rinse out upper body tension. This mobilizes around the thoracic spine. Helps us with our breathing as well, just to mobilize into the diaphragm. So dropping down. Nice bit of squeezy action here. Very good. And then keeping your bum behind you, so you're sort of in a squatting kind of position like that. Lift your tail, spread your sitting bones, and then tuck your tail. Imagine your tail's coming under here, and you're lifting it behind you. You're tucking it under. So we mobilize the pelvic floor muscles, open up the sitting bones, and then draw them together. Do this with your breath. So you breathe in as you lift the tail, you breathe out as you tuck the tail. And if you can breathe in through your nostrils, that's the best thing. So try not to breathe in through your mouth. If you breathe out through your nostrils, great. If you breathe out through your mouth, that's fine as well. So either for the breath out. Lifting and tucking. Lifting, good. Switch just the hips from side to side. Just give them a little wiggle there as you go into the hip joints. Lovely. And then roll yourself up. We're going to go into the hip joints a bit more. So weight over to one leg, knee in, knee out. So this is the rotator muscles here, in, out. And then we want to start to get the hands across the midline of the body. So keep your torso straight. So this goes right into the side waist muscles. Great for toning the obliques. Side waist, really good for constipation because we're just getting it all kind of moving, getting good blood flow around the intestines. So breathing out as you bring your knee in, like good. And the other side, bring the knee in, hands opposite. So start slow, and then as you get the movement, go over a bit faster. See if you can stack your head right on top of your neck. Chin comes in slightly. That creates a constriction on the back of your throat. Slight constriction makes your lungs have to work harder. So get toning in the lungs, increase our lung capacity. Just get the blood flowing around the body. Fantastic. And then hands on hips, feet nice and wide, toes straight forward, pelvis circles. So simple move, but absolutely fantastic for opening up these psoas muscles, for lower back pain, also getting good kind of vascular flow around all of those organs, helping that sumping action around the intestines here, into the bowel. Good, big circles. Now pause, other direction, this time hands behind your head, elbows back. So push your head into your hands, double chin, bend your knees slightly, keep your elbows back, shoulders down, and start to breathe in long, smooth breaths. The breath goes right past your ears into your hands. That's how we want to feel the breath, fully inflating the lungs. And then as you breathe out, let all of the breath come out. So you can get this whole area opening up. Good for our brain as well, just doing a little bit of mobilization of the pelvis at the same time as something's going on with our head. That's the way. And then setting posture, bend your knees, arms out, shoulders down, little circles backwards. Draw the base of the ribcage in, so don't flare. Torso straight, head bang on top of your neck. Imagine there is a broomstick going from the crown of your head, down through your neck, down through your spine, straight down through your tail, down into the ground. Little circles backwards. Bigger, bigger. That's the way. Good. And another big breath in. And now, empty the lungs completely. Good. So we're going to do this. Great for constipation. Hands on knees, feet as wide as your mat. So if you go sideways on the mat, hands on knees. Now we want to keep the back straight. So that means just below the bra strap, you're pushing up slightly towards the ceiling. So the base of the ribcage is drawing in. Knees can bend as much as you need to. So we breathe in and we flare the ribs out to the side as we breathe in. And then we breathe out completely and open your mouth to breathe out and go, try and get every little bit of puff out of your lungs. And then instead of breathing in again, you hold the end of the exhalation, but you do the action of the breath in. So you pretend to breathe in and your ribs flare out to the side. As you flare your ribs out, lock your arms, so straighten your arms, lock them, so you push your hands into your knees, draw your chin right in, and press that bit just below the bra strap up towards the ceiling. So we get a vacuum upwards, incredibly toning for the organs and great for constipation. And then you obviously need to let your belly go, take a couple of normal breaths before you try that again. It's called a hyperpressive breath. And once you get the hyperpressive breath, and it is quite hard to get, then we can add in an undulation of the belly, which is great if you are constipated. So I'm just going to show you the first version and then the second version. So first version, pushing down and out with your feet, bend the knees, breathe in, ribs flare, breathe out completely, and then the false breath in. So you don't actually breathe in, you hold the end of the exhalation. Let the belly go, a couple of regular breaths. Now, if you've been doing that with me a little while and you know the breath, then I'm going to add a second thing for you. If you've not done that before, have a little go. If you don't do it straight away, please don't worry. It's quite hard to get. But if you are doing this, I know, Jen, you've done this before. So the next version, I'll move my top up so you can see what's going on here. So breathe in, breathe out, false breath in. That takes a while to get. So what you're doing is you're doing this action with your deep core muscles. You're kind of lolling upwards, release, lolling upwards, release, and it's all with that total exhalation on the end of the exhalation. So first of all, you've got to get comfortable with just the once you're comfortable with that, then you add in, once on the end of the exhalation, you add in all right, we're going to leave that one there. But know that you'll have the recording and you can come back to that and just keep practicing with it. See if you can get that one. Great. I can feel everything moving around here. Okay, so we'll do another thing that's going to just help to shift. Have your feet like a nice wide-ish base, armed like so, like a window, shoulders down, so make sure that doesn't happen. Rib cage stays in, torso stays completely straight. So we're doing the little puffy breath out with the chin in, and as you puff the breath out, pretend your left elbow is pushing your right elbow away. So you go. Really important you don't move your pelvis. Yeah, keep your pelvis straight. That's it. And so both of you, try not to go like that. Yeah, so you're not moving your head. It's this only is moving here. We're moving your arms, but this is shifting. Everything else stays completely static. So try that on the other way, on the other side. Right arm pushing your left arm away. So this, it's like a little robot. You go. That stays completely static. Good, now try doing both sides. Elbows pushing each other away. Base of the rib cage drawing in, so don't flare your ribs. Keep your spine nice and tall and static. Good, big breath in. And then out. Fantastic. We're going to do a little action using brick if you've got brick. So squats, if you've got a brick, use it. If you don't worry. Squatting. So we want to have our feet a little bit in from the edges of your mat, toes nice and wide. Weight is in the heels. So if your weight's in your toes, your knees are going to come forward. We want weight in the heels and our bum sliding back. Now, if you know you collapse slightly in your inner arches like that, and when you come into squat, your knees do that, have your brick, put it between your thighs, either a bit wider, or if you're smaller, like that. Just so the knees don't drop in, and you get the real perception of pushing down and slightly out with your feet as you come up from your squat. If that doesn't happen with your knees, instead, use your brick to activate your core muscles more by pressing into the sides, yeah? Or, I don't know, if you've got weights, you could use weights if you want to add weights. So I'm going to do this version. I'm pressing in as I come up. This is like when we do the things on the floor. This helps activate the deep transverse abdominal muscles. So we want to come down, spread your toes, weight is in the heels, zigzag. So you can see that I'm not here, I'm here. Back stays straight, base of rib cage in. So this is the same position with our back as when we were here. Everything's hinging from the hip joint. Dropping down, we breathe out, activation breath, blowing out a candle. We push the floor away. I'm pressing into my brick as I bring my brick up to slide the activation from my pelvic floor right up through my deep transverse abdominal muscles, the multifidi muscles at the back. This is your core structure. We're working with the breath. So the diaphragm is pressing the breath out of the body and vacuuming up the pelvic floor organs at the same time. Pelvic floor and the organs. Good. Keep your bum behind you, so don't snap your pelvis forward at the end. Squeeze the brick and then kind of release it. Squeeze, that's it. Release, squeeze, hands in, release. Now your feet are going pushing down and out. So make these next few really deliberate with your feet. You're really pressing those heels down and outwards to get into the bum. And again. Beautiful, well done. So hopefully you can feel glutes activated. If you've got your brick, you want to have a little extra balance, put it under your foot for the next one. Don't worry if you haven't got a brick, so you can do this without the brick. So we're standing, nice and tall, crown of the head lifted, base of the rib cage in, shoulders are down. Okay, slightly bend the standing leg, press the heel into the ground. So hopefully if you take this foot up, you can really feel that activation. Arms nice and wide. We're going to breathe out, bring the knee up. Breathe in to drop. Breathe out, bring the knee up. Good. Now, if you're balanced, you're pretty balanced. See if you can open the front line of the body, make it a little bit harder. Good. Imagine you have got a big stack of bricks on your head. So you've got to keep your head lifting upwards into the stack of bricks. Keep the torso tall, breathing out, using all of our core muscles, and a little bit of cross patterning. And one more. That's it. Now breathe out and zip upwards. So feel like you're stopping yourself weeing. Toe might be on the ground, but we're just going zip, 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 stopping ourselves weeing. Good, breathing it down. Take that standing leg, give it a release, and let your pelvic floor muscles relax. So if you've got, just let them be nice and relaxed now. Loosen the goose. Right, let's go to the other side. Heel pressing into the brick, so we just have a bit more activation on that leg. Crown of the head is lifted. Just make sure that you are steady through the torso. Come off the brick if you've not done this one before, or have the wall close by and put a finger on the wall. So we start off, toe on the ground, lifting the knees as much as we can. The main important thing is you keep your torso, my balance gone, torso nice and tall. You're not leaning back. This is a lot harder than I anticipated. And breathing out, good. And then once you've got your balance, adding in the squeeze. I'm squeezing my left glute to take the foot behind, squeezing here. So we're getting into gluteus medius as well. Just keep stabilizing muscles along with gluteus maximus of the pelvis. So this is one of those, you get lots, that's a bang for your buck. That's it, 3, slow. 2, breathing out. And 1, good, and then lift that knee. Stop yourself weeing, it's that action. Close the hose, lift, close the hose, lift, close the hose. And then release down and give it a little jiggle. Well done, good stuff. Let's come down. So again, brick can be useful. If you slide, if you feel wide, just slide down Malasana. The forearms into thighs. You can always do a little cheeky sitting on the brick. That doesn't look good, does it? Or hold the brick in front. Yeah, so coming down, as long as you keep your tail slightly lifted, you're not tucking your tail under. Yeah, so keep pressing the knees out with forearms or elbows. Beautiful. Your weight through your feet is slightly on the outer edges. So we want to avoid that. Slightly on the outer edges. Imagine if you had a footprint on sand at the beach, you have a perfect footprint. And if you're able to put your hands together, press the elbows, do that, draw the shoulders away from the ears. Wonderful. Oh, good. Slide yourself down. We're going to come into a kneeling position. Now, I know that doesn't suit some people. Try, if it doesn't and it's sore on your ankles, try grabbing a blanket and just taking a little edge of it underneath the arch, so underneath the top of your foot here. So we want to come into a nice tall position here, and then so make sure your pelvic floor is relaxed, nice tall position, and then hands like this, and then as you breathe out, round and tuck, and as you breathe in, pull your chest forward and lift your tail. So this is incredibly toning on the pelvic floor. Breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, sorry, other way. Breathing out here, breathing in. So closing, like we arch the back in cat and cow on the breath out. And then make it quite deliberate with your breathing. If you're au fait with ujjayi breath, so with your nostril breathing, try it as a nostril breathing exercise. So focusing on the exhale. If that feels weird, breathe in through the nostrils and out through the mouth, like this. Great for pelvic floor. Good. And releasing it there. So constipation, I'm going to get you, if you've got a brick, I'm going to get you to take it under your bottom now. So roll the calf muscles out to the sides, sit on the edge of your brick, or if you've got a bolster, edge of your bolster. If you're very comfortable and your quads are a bit more open, you might sit straight on the ground, but we're not W sitting, we're closer than that. So W sitting, your shins and feet are further out. We've got our calf muscles out to the sides. It is a big stretch across, it's called rectus femoris, this big muscle that goes over the knees and up into the pelvis. Sitting bones are wide, so you want to have bum muscles out to the side, sitting bones wide, the whole pelvic floor is extended here. Now, take your hands and just massage around. So you're going up the right side, so at the ascending colon, across underneath the rib cage, and down the left side, the descending colon. This is great for massaging bubbers when they've got colicky tummy issues and are not comfortable. So up and down, they've got gas and they're all like, nice massage. So go up, across, down, and try and relax your pelvic floor and try and do slow, even breathing. Massaging quite firm with the heel of your hand around the belly. Good. And then I'm going to show you a breathing technique, which some people find is super effective at activating the pelvic floor, and some people just don't, and instead they end up putting pressure down. So I want you to, if you know this is not working, stop straight away, okay? So we're gonna, if you can breathe in and out of the nostrils, that's ideal. Drawing the chin in, all of this is completely straight, rib cage is slightly in, slight anterior tilt through the pelvis, so it's slightly heavy through the pubic bone. And it's called the breath of fire. We just focus on the exhale, and the inhale comes of its own accord. And as you breathe out quite forcefully, you want to feel like you're closing the hose and you're zipping up the tight high-waisted jeans very quickly. So it's a don't worry too much about going, oh, close the hose. Just focus on tummy button. Imagine your tummy button is lifting up towards your rib cage. So it should look like your lower belly is doing that. Like I said, you don't focus on the inhale, you just go, or if you're not comfortable breathing out through your nostrils, like that. And what we don't want is for the pressure to be going down, down, down. We want the feeling of a sucking. So right before we sneeze, that's the action we want. So give your belly another little relaxing rub, massage around, up the ascending colon, across and down the descending colon, like so. And then we'll try that again. Nice and tall through your posture, base of the rib cage in, chin in. Just relax your belly to start off with. Take a nice deep breath in, and then it's a and just take a couple of long, smooth breaths. So some people still call it the skull polishing breath as well, because you sort of feel like you just had a big espresso coffee, like, ooh, awake. Good. Coming off there, knees apart, opening up the inner thigh muscles. So come down into your water boatman pose, forearms on the ground, sitting bones nice and wide, knees wide. Slide yourself down. We just want to relax the pelvic floor muscles, relax the lower belly now. If it's comfortable for you, stick your bum up a bit more, chest down, arms splayed. So this is not great on some people's shoulders. And if your shoulders are not happy, stay higher. If this is fine, try just to get as low to the ground as you can. Like so. Beautiful. And then we're going to slide onto the ground completely and mobilize shoulders and hip and bum active. So first of all, hands close to shoulders, elbows right in. And just do like train action, lifting and rolling the shoulders back. So you draw them forward by your ears, up and then right back. So your chest lifts slightly. Little train action here. Choo, 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 choo. And then try doing one side and then the other. So it's like a very old-fashioned train. Choo, choo. One side, then the other. Mobilize them. Beautiful. Now we're going to breathe in deeply and just let the extensor muscles, the little multifidi muscles, the extensors of our back, to lift us up. Breathing in, breathing out to come down. So breathe in. Try not to put too much pressure through your hands. Get the back muscles working. This is part of your core. Really important for posture. Making all of your back muscles work, but starting from the little muscles around your spine. Good. Now take the hands onto your bum, keep your chin tucked in. Let's squeeze one glute and then the other glute. Your feet might not come off the ground that much, don't worry. Just see if you can activate one side of your buttocks and get an activation into your hand. So you want to focus on the right side, squeeze it, and then see if you can keep squeezing it until the foot lifts and then drop, and then do that on the other side. If this is easy for you, draw a tummy button off the ground, and then start kicking as if you're in a swimming pool, and maybe even taking the arms out to the side or out in front of you, shoulders away from the ears, but activating into the back as well. Squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. Breathing, and then let's come into Shalabhasana. So lifting, stretching toes and fingers away, and then drop down. Relax the muscles for a moment. Roll the shoulders up to your ears, slide them down to the bottom of the sockets, and then tummy button off the ground, and squeeze and lift. That's it. And then down, rolling onto your back. Fantastic. Have you got your brick? We're just going to take brick between knees. So we've got an extra little bit of adductor activation. Take your feet straight forward. If you haven't got a brick, you could fold a cushion and put that between your knees. Yeah, just a little cushion. Feet straight forward. And it's really important that the heels are pretty much under your knees. So see if you can pull your heels a bit closer. So we want to activate the glutes here in particular. Push your heels into the ground. So your action is, rather than thinking I'm going to push my pelvis up, it's push your heels down. Push your heels down, activate hamstrings and then bum, and then squeeze your knees into your prop. And then just come down a little bit. So it's just small action to start off with. Heels into the ground, bum activating, hamstrings activating, and then squeeze the brick. Good, so that's the action. We're going to come a bit higher now. Push the feet into the ground, breathing out. Active, 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 squeeze. Keep coming up a little bit higher. Active, 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 breathing out. Little puppy breaths out. And then do that activation, pelvic floor muscles coming up to deep core muscles, all of this active. And then roll it back down. And let the knees rest. So almost dropping the brick. We'll do that another couple of times. So start with the heels, push down, active bum, squeeze, coming up. And then slowly coming down. This is a good one to come back to if you have a lot of stress incontinence. Pressing down, coming up, squeeze. And coming down. Now let's do a couple of these, but faster. So we're just pushing up and then dropping down. Pushing up, dropping down. So we're not pushing up all the way into bridge. We're just going into a slant here. so that our bum muscles are active. As I'm pushing up, I'm squeezing into the brick. So it's a squeeze, squeeze, squeeze action. You don't want to come up high, too high, so that your lower back hurts, okay? So just about there, and one more. Good, 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 good. Take your brick above you. So if you haven't got a brick, don't worry, just don't do your hands, or put your hands, what you do. Just don't use your hands. If you have got a brick, pressing onto either side just to help activate around base of the rib cage, your deep transverse abdominal muscles here. Feet together. We're going to drop the knees out to the side. As you exhale, push into your brick and activate pelvic floor and zip upwards, tight high-waisted jeans. So all of this is going to be in and up. And then release the pressure on the brick, let the knees flop apart, and then active breathing out. And then apart. And that's it. Beautiful. So if you're doing this properly, it's quite hard. It's not easy. Good. So if that's easy for you, if you are finding that easy, challenge yourself. Right foot flat on the ground, left knee out to the side, and active just on the left side. So you've got to keep that right knee completely static, and the right hip bone completely static. It doesn't move. So just one side. Good. Swap to the other side. Back of your rib cage on sort of on the ground, but you're not flattening your lower belly completely. There's a little bit of a gap, but try not to flare your ribs. Back of the rib cage, down on the ground. Okay, so dropping the right knee out, breathing, squeezing the brick. Marvelous, well done. Take your right knee up to your chest, drop your left knee out, so you sort of half baby pose like that. Relax your pelvic floor muscles. Let's give this top foot a swirl around. Any opportunity you have to mobilize your ankles, mobilize your feet, take it. Take it, take it, take it. And then slide that leg away. So go into the psoas here a little bit further. Take the hand above the head if that's okay on your shoulders. Back of your ribs into the ground. So don't flare here through the torso. Now keep slowly stretching fingers and toes apart as you breathe. So take it slowly to get to your full extension. Good, and then both knees up. We're just going to pause here with knees apart and just let those inner thigh muscles relax. Let them go, let them go, let them go. Let your shoulders go. Just notice, have your shoulders trapped up towards your ears? Is your pelvic floor still holding at all? Let's do the other side. So knee drops, foot drops, coming into this sort of half baby, and then sliding that foot out a little bit, little bit, little bit, hand above the head. Stretching. Oh, whole body stretch. That's the way. Both feet up towards the ceiling. Now, oh, crappy, I've got crap. Just give yourself a little swirl in the middle, around the sacrum. Let's take the legs up first. Let's do this first. So push the heels away from you. Really interesting. I was doing a one-to-one yesterday with an athlete, somebody who's amazing, but really tight. And doing this, the pelvis completely off the ground. So as soon as I got them to do the pelvis plugging down, that was the first time they'd actually ever felt a hamstring stretch. And we're going to write down here. So if you are further down, don't worry, just use your belt and do one leg at a time, okay? So if this is not accessible, use your belt, one leg at a time, but it's the same thing. You're plugging your femur, your thigh bone, back into your pelvis. You're pushing the pelvis into the ground, pushing your heels away from you, your toes are active. And if you are able to reach the back of your legs, give them a rub. So all the time I'm doing this, I'm plugging my pelvis down. Yeah, so I'm not just kind of, I'm not hanging here in space. I'm pushing the pelvis down, I'm plugging those femurs back into the ground, I'm pulling my toes back, and then let's go into the outside of the legs. So turn the toes out, heels are together. Ooh, this is the nasty one. Ooh. And then knees apart for baby. Give your inner thighs a little rub here. And then grabbing hold of wherever you can. So the most important thing is the shoulders stay on the ground. If your head is doing that, grab a blanket and place it under the ridge of your head. So I want to have our chin drawn in. Baby pose to release all of those muscles that we have been activating. This is the bit that's often left out, but it's super, super important because we need muscles that are long as well as strong. Good, good. Give yourself a little figure 4 for a moment on either side. Just let those bum muscles relax. And then we're going to do a twist. So a twist a day keeps constipation at bay. Knees into chest. Give yourself a little circle and then dropping knees. So if knees don't come all the way down, use your brick or a bolster. Drop down, arms out, looking over the other shoulder. Now we're going to sump the intestines here. So the action is activation through the pelvic floor, so stopping yourself weeing and passing wind at the same time, and then drawing that activation upwards so it feels like you're sucking your deep corsatory muscles in towards your spine, and then you let it all go, and then you do it again and you let it all go. So you need to breathe out probably to get that activation, and you just want to get blood flow in through the intestines. Feel those, and then just let the belly relax. Enjoy the twist. And then slowly come to the other side, slowly. So now belly, it's this big flush of fresh nutrients, blood going through. Come onto the other side. I love a twist. I love it. And again, something action. And relax the belly. So super important in this heat to stay hydrated. It's really easy to forget to drink enough water. So keep drinking water. I always start the day with a couple of cups of hot water. I've been told by my dentist to stop squeezing lemon into my hot water. So I'm getting the enamel wearing away on my teeth, but it's good for this. It's not good for this. So I think if you are doing lemon and hot water, the idea is to rinse your mouth afterwards and don't brush your teeth for half an hour at least. So I have been told. Good. Oh, that's lovely. If you've got a bolster, just put it underneath your bottom just for a minute and let your pelvis rest here so the organs can just drop away from the pelvic floor and get a little stretch into your lower back. Let all of that settle. Nice, long, smooth breath through your lower belly, connecting in. And maybe mentally saying to this whole part of your body, the central part of your body, the uterus, sitting in the middle of the bladder and the bowels and the pelvic floor. Get all your deep core muscles around. This is the engine, the central engine of our whole being. Intestines, all the gut biome. I'm just mentally saying to this part of you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Well done. You're enjoying the tingly sensation just under the skin surface. This is the nadis, the energy channels that we've opened up. The prana, the life force, just
flowing around, helping the body to detoxify, to renew, nourishing all the cells. When you're ready to complete, take the arms and legs up towards the ceiling. Give everything a jiggle. Jiggle, 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 jiggle. Including your jaw. Lovely kind of release. And good. And you are done. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are able to stay there for another 5 minutes, please do. Just absorb and relax. Otherwise, rock and roll your way up. Roll the shoulders. Restack the head. Bang on top of the neck. Let the shoulders be nice and relaxed. Jaw nice and relaxed. And then let's take the fingers out to the side, turn the palms. Take a deep breath in. Pull fresh energy up and around your body. Hold it up the breath. And then let it all go. Excellent. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.